Hi, I'm John Scholes, President and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association. I want to welcome you to our City Maker Conversation, sponsored by Alaska Airlines. I'm here at Conan Steiner on First Avenue, and I'm here with Dani Cone, the founder of Conan Steiner, founder of High Five Pies, and of Fuel Coffee. Dani, thanks for letting us take over the store today and have a conversation with you.
Thanks for being here. This is great.
Tell me a bit about this location, which is your latest here in the beautiful Standard building on First Avenue.
Great. I fell in love with this building, this beautiful historic building.
It's gorgeous.
I love it. I mean, the original brick wall and the ghosted out paintings on the side of it that are original. You just can't recreate things like this. And
did you get in here before they made the massive renovation? Did you see, were you in this space before?
No, I mean I saw it when it was, after it had been renovated, I saw it. Did you see it before?
No, I heard the stories though of what was below the wood floors and
yes,
bottles of whiskey from
crazy stories.
From the Prohibition era.
Of a shooting range in the back and So this building definitely has quite a history, and especially of the businesses that were here before us too. I often get a lot of people coming in and saying, gosh, I remember this space. Now, what was here before? Right. And I'm like, it was a porn shop. Yeah.
Taboo Video, right?
I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, everybody knows it.
Is there anything taboo in here now?
No comment.
Yeah. Okay.
That's for after hours.
So you're not, you have the location in Pioneer Square as well, and you're not trying to replicate that location anyway. What I think is interesting about what you've done, you're trying to reflect the neighborhood, and this is really unique and different as far as the merchandising mix. Do I have that right? Is that how you've approached?
That's it's a great question, and I think in each one of our locations, and with our other one being on Capitol Hill, kind of more of in a residential neighborhood versus the daytime population that this location and Pioneer Square both have, and each one has definitely a through line of our product mix, which is specialty, local, and basics. So you'll see most of the same product mix in each one. We really love featuring local Seattle-made vendors, small and unique things that you can only find here at Conan Steiner. But we have a lot of the basics too that we like to keep constant at each one of the stores, because our whole business model is modern convenience store. So, kind of a new take on a classic general store. And so it should have and does have a little bit of everything, and those touchstone things that you always want, like good old Rainier. Who doesn't love that?
There you go.
But it should also have some of the special, unique items that you can only find here too. And we try and keep most of that the same, similar-ish, I guess. But to your point, exactly, we try and also leave room to tailor it around each neighborhood. Like, what does this neighborhood want a little more of, say, or a little bit different than Pioneer Square, than Capitol Hill?
So, in this online digital world, everybody wants things fast, delivered, picked up, dropped off. I want to send it back. You've said place still matters, the physical experience still matters.
Yes.
How do you approach that in both Fuel and then here at Conan Steiner?
People do want things fast and now and right to you, and I think that's great, and I think that's sort of, there's so much convenience in that, but at the same time, I 100% believe, and obviously have doubled down on the fact that there's just nothing that completely takes the place of that in-person human interaction, and having these actual physical places to go where you connect with somebody, where somebody, an actual person behind the counter is happy to see you.
And at a macro level, right, the downtown is so much about the physical experience. We can all sit home and dial up whatever we want to watch or order whatever we want to eat or experience art, but we still have a desire for that
to
physical.
Go out
to
and
go out.
Be where people are
and
connect with people, or hear the sounds of the traffic and be around where things are happening. I mean, I feel like there's so much talk and so many articles these days about the future of retail, the future of brick and mortar. And certainly, yes, things have changed. And yes, we have to evolve with that. But to me, the only thing that's dead about retail and brick and mortar is asking if brick and mortar and retail is dead.
Right.
That's it. I mean,
That should be dead. We should
yes,
declare that dead.
it should be absolutely lay it to rest.
Yeah,
It's not dead.
I'm with you. We could all sit in bed and have everything brought to us, but I don't think as humans we want that experience. We
No,
wanna
as
connect with
evidenced
other
by,
people.
especially as we see, every month you hear of something else opening, a new restaurant opening. You can get any sort of food you want delivered to you at any time, and yet new restaurants are opening every month, every week probably. And that's because there's nothing that takes the place of that experience. It's not just the plate of food in front of you, it's everything. It's the service, it's the people, it's the atmosphere, it's all of it.
Well, I love what you've done here. I mean, I walk in here, it feels like this place has been here 100 years. And you
Oh,
have this
that's
sense
great.
of this
Good.
sense of community here of folks who work in the neighborhood, live in the neighborhood, and lots of folks that are visiting for
We
leisure
hope so.
and work travel.
With our overall business model being one of modern convenience store, we've really dug into, okay, well, what do the different parts of that phrase even mean? In terms of convenience store, we need to be convenient to people and meet them along the way, and whatever along the way means for them these days, with the type of products and food that they want conveniently. So that concept led us to launching the delivery and online ordering platform earlier this year, and then came about, just as you're saying, these micro models, because as we think about, okay, we have our 2,000-ish square foot stores, and placing those conveniently along people's way as a modern commuter or office worker, wherever they are these days. But that next level of convenience of going to where the people are is having these micro model units within an office building lobby, or and that would be like a small 300 to 500 square foot, basically a mini Conan Steiner counter, like Conan Steiner Greatest Hits, where we can have our espresso machine, a couple taps, some sandwiches, and the grab-and-go coolers, and where can we put that along people's way? And certainly there are way more places where if we shrink ourselves down to that size that we could just slot right into. And then even smaller than that, if you're working in an office building up on the 17th floor, and you're in the middle of a big project and you just need a snack, then where are you going to go? Maybe you don't have time to break away, go downstairs, walk down the block even. So we've come up with a model that's kind of a self-serve kiosk, if you will.
Sounds very dangerous.
I know. I mean,
Tap,
snacks right there. Yeah. All the
I
snacks
sign
you
my
want and
condo
some
lobby
fresh
up.
food
Yeah.
too. And you just take what you want, slide your card, and off you go. You have great snacks, and also it gives us another outlet to showcase our cool and unique local vendors and introduce even more people to some of the great things we carry.
Well, I look forward to seeing it. I can think of some great locations.
Great,
The Downtown
I'm ready.
Seattle Association lobby.
Yes,
VR,
yeah, exactly.
Downtown
Wherever you
condo
are, wherever you
lobby
live.
between the two.
Exactly. We'll just follow you. It'll be great.
There's
Yeah.
lots of nooks and crannies in downtown
Perfect.
where
Yeah.
these would work well. So you talked about in some of the reporting on you that I've read about, just your connection to coffee at a very young age as
Yeah.
a barista, I think in high school, and
Yes.
really believing in this relationship with the customer and this act of service, which seems to have played out in your career.
Everything.
I wonder if you could talk a bit more about that sort of realization that you had at that young age
Sure.
and how it's been a thread throughout your career and the companies you founded and the experiences that you've created.
Yeah, sure. It's, I feel really lucky that I found something that I loved so much at such an early age. I mean, I know plenty of people go through life without finding something that just absolutely, is their passion. And I started my first barista job. I'm from here, and so it was here in Seattle, and I was 15. And to date myself, because I'm old now, this was the early 90s and coffee was still a hot new thing in Seattle. And so every place that you went, every place was getting an espresso machine, from the video store to any sort, to everywhere. So I got a job at a deli, and they had just gotten an espresso machine, and I was just learning what are these newfangled coffee drinks. And so they taught me how to slice meat, and they taught me how to make lattes and mochas. And as I always say, to this day, I still suck at slicing meat, and I still love making espresso drinks. everybody drinks coffee. And so I would see all sorts of people from all walks of life coming to the counter in a fast pace, and you're starting off their day, or you're giving them that little afternoon treat or something, and they're taking a moment and you're helping to create that moment. And I fell in love with it. I mean, it was just, especially at that time too, with the rise of coffee shops and what have you, it was these places, again, like going back to these physical places where all sorts of people could connect. I just love that, and just that you can help somebody get through that morning. You meet all sorts of people, you have these conversations with people, and you become a part of each other's daily ritual and landscape, because coffee is such a ritualistic thing. Usually you don't just go once in a blue moon. Most people go
One
regularly.
thing that's still hard to deliver too, right?
Yes,
it's hard
thank
to deliver
God.
that hot coffee.
Yeah.
How
So-
much was your family's history and your great-grandfather and the shop he owned 100+ years ago down the street, and your grandfather as well in a similar business, how much was that a part of your upbringing and thinking and desire to serve and be in retail?
That's a great
or did you
question.
come to that love and passion sort of on your own? How much awareness did you have of their
Of what they did?
what they did? Yeah.
I think a lot, mostly because on both sides of my family, and one of the things I'm most grateful for too is that I come from a long line of small business owners. And so growing up across different industries too, but growing up I really got to see that owning a business is something that just regular folks like us can do. You don't have to be, you don't have to be the richest person in the room, or even the smartest person in the room, or what have you, or have all of the college degrees and this, that, and the other thing. It was just something that, we were regular people, and I saw all of these people on both sides of my family who started businesses with something that they loved. If there's something you love doing, and this is how I grew up too, it's that if there's something you love doing and you're willing to work really hard and risk everything and then work even harder, but you love what you're doing, you can get a job doing that, or you could start a business doing it. And it was just that, it sounds like a very basic or simple fact, but I think that to me it was just something that it was so normalized, or just something that was presented as a viable option, like here's something you could do. And a lot of times when I talk to folks who want to start a business, there's so many things that they think like, well, I'd love to do that, but I couldn't because I'm not
one of those
whatever.
people, or-
Yeah, fill in the
yeah.
blank. And I never heard that. I just heard that, if you really love doing it, it's going to be harder. That's the harder way to go. And it's going to be harder, it's going to be more expensive, it's going to be riskier, all of the things. But if you want to, sure, you could. And so just kind of being able to see that example, I think really showed me that, after spending many, many years as a barista all over the place at many different places, I thought, okay, this is what I love doing. I guess I'll start a coffee shop. Right? Super innovative idea here in Seattle, but
Can't wait to see what comes next. And
Yeah.
Congratulations on the
Well.
success you've had. It's been such a great addition to the downtown neighborhood
thank
and
you.
community.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, and you're such an asset to folks who are living, working, shopping, visiting downtown to be able to have a place like this, and to have the merchandise and food and beer and wine that you offer.
We
I look
hope to
forward to
be.
those kiosks and others.
Yeah,
things
me
taking
too.
shape.
Yeah, we hope to be, and we really hope to be a great place. One of my favorite parts of the business is really getting to meet so many of the small vendors that are right here in Seattle, making things right here within our city limits, and being able to give them a showcase for their items too, and introduce them to our customers as well. And so I hope to continue to get to do more of that, and have loved getting to be here so far.
Well, thanks for joining us for the City Maker
Thank
conversation.
you.
Dani.
This is
really
great.
appreciate your
Thank
time
you.
and letting us take over the store this
Yeah,
afternoon.
anytime.
And thank you for joining us for DSA City Maker Conversation here at Conan Steiner.